Hello, and welcome to Sexual Reproduction Day 4. And today we're going to be comparing asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So, how do meiotic, which results in haploid sex cells, and mitotic, which results in diploid body cells, differ? So they're two different types of cell division, but we'll see in the diagram just below how they differ. And then you'll be making a little kind of like a Venn diagram, but a Venn diagram for the age of Zoom. So I'm doing mine on the computer. Those of you that have to handwrite on your notes, you can number these and put them on the blanks in numbers if you like, or if you can come up with some other way. It's going to be probably like a little sloppy to write all these phrases in these boxes, but if you can use a text editor to do this on Google Docs, you'll probably have the best time. But let's go ahead and get started. So, question number 1. The ability of cells to pass on their characteristics to new cells is most directly related to, so the ability of cells to pass on their characteristics is directly related to the ability of the cytoplasm to excrete waste, effectors to respond to environmental changes, ribosomes to use energy, or D, chromosomes to replicate. And hopefully you guys remember, because we did this one on Castle Learning, that the answer is D. Because when we're talking about genetic information, we're talking all about the chromosomes, baby. All right, and question number 2, which human disorder is characterized by a group of abnormal body cells that suddenly begin to undergo cell division at a very rapid rate? And that is B, cancer, which is uncontrolled cell division. So a very common condition. And why is it so common? It's because mitosis is happening in our bodies all the time. This is also why it's more common for you to develop cancer in old age, because the more times that your cells replicate, like over a lifetime, the greater likelihood that a problem will occur. And that problem can take the form of cancer. Alrighty then. Now let's go ahead and look at these diagrams. So there's really nothing you need to write on these diagrams. They're just there for your reference. I will annotate a bit. You can see here we start in both cases, in mitosis and meiosis, with a diploid body cell. And in the case of meiosis, this process is split into two, with meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. And meiosis 1 is very similar to mitosis, right? You can see the diploid cell produces 2 diploid cells. Meiosis 1 is basically mitosis. But then what happens next is meiosis 2, which takes those 2 diploid cells and divides them into 4 haploid cells. And each one contains, half of the genetic information present in the original cell. And all of the products of meiosis, all of these haploid cells at the bottom, are unique from the original cell and also from each other. So every egg and every sperm is completely different from every other egg and every other sperm. And this is in no small part thanks to crossing over, which is the recombination of genes on a chromosome that occurs during meiosis. In mitosis, we have no such recombination, which is why these diploid cells that are the products of mitosis are all identical to each other. That's the main difference. But we can see there are a few differences, right? Meiosis is a multi-step process, whereas mitosis, we look at the phases of mitosis, but it's just one division. Whereas in meiosis, division happens twice. And the product is diploid versus haploid, another important distinction. So let's go ahead now and get to that chart. Comparing meiosis and mitosis. So I'm going to show you how I would do it. You can do this however you like, but this is the word bank. So each one of these phrases is going to fit in either meiosis, mitosis, or both. Hence, like one of those circle diagrams, this is really a modified Venn diagram. So makes 4 cells. We can look up here up top. That's a meiosis, baby. And let's make this a fun color, because life is better when it's in color, right? So, okay, makes 4 cells. And I'm just crossing them out as I go. Makes 2 cells, that's mitosis. And I'll repeat it every time. Oh, okay, hold on. I have an idea. And then in the middle, it's going to be purple. Okay, makes 2 cells, that's mitosis. A type of cell reproduction, why, that's both, of course. These are 2 different types of cell reproduction. And I highly recommend you guys try to do this on your own and then come back and check. But if you're doing it along with me, that is okay too. So creates a gamete. Again, another word for these haploid cells. These are the sperm and egg cells. These are the gametes, the products of meiosis. And that word is gamete, because I know that one is hard to pronounce. But it's meiosis that creates the gamete. All right, so now we're looking at a little math. 2 end to end, so we have a diploid cell that has a full set of chromosomes producing a haploid cell. You already know that's meiosis. As compared to right below, 2 end to end, identical to identical, diploid to diploid, that's mitosis. Creates somatic cells or body cells. Why, that is mitosis, of course. And remember, mitosis is what's more common. Mitosis is what's happening all the time in our bodies. That's how all of our body cells, the cells in our skin, the cells in our tongue, the cells in our liver and our stomach, all over our bodies are created. And a meiosis is just the special process that creates sex cells or gametes. All right, now pollen is created. You guys may or may not know already that pollen is plant sperm. Pollen is plant sperm. I'll repeat that again. And a fun fact, one of the reasons why we all get seasonal allergies, or at least many people do, is because there's so much pollen in cities, because get this, female trees drop seed pods. So many years ago, urban planners were like, we can't have all these seed pods littering the streets. Let's plant all male trees, right? No problem with planting all male trees. Well, Planting all these male trees means there's no female trees to receive their pollen. And it also means the male trees are like nervous, like they won't be able to pass on their genes. They won't be able to reproduce. So they're spraying all this extra pollen and there's no female trees to take it up. Pollen is plant sperm. So those of you that have allergies to pollen, you're allergic to plant sperm. And because it is a plant's gamete, the male gamete for plants that produce sexually, pollen is a product of meiosis. Blood cells are body cells, and just like all of our other body cells, blood cells are created via mitosis. Thanks, mitosis. A real bro. Asexual reproduction. That's meiosis, or excuse me, that's mitosis. We already know that is asexual cell reproduction that produces identical cells. Mitosis. Crossing over occurs. That's meiosis. Very important, the recombination of chromosomes that produces the great variety present in sexually reproducing organisms. Meiosis is my favorite part, or crossing over rather, is my favorite part of meiosis. So I'm going to italicize that one because it's real important, but you don't have to. Creates a clone. Why, of course. That's asexual reproduction. That's mitosis. That's identical, right? Clones are identical to the parents or to the original. Chromosome number is reduced by half. That's how we get haploid cells that have half. That's meiosis. Chromosome number stays the same. That's mitosis. And then phases include PMAT. Well, that is both. Because like I said, when we were looking at the chart, meiosis 1 is basically mitosis. And if we look at meiosis phases, you can see it's just like mitosis. It's just divided into 1 and 2. So meiosis 1 is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, just like mitosis. And then we have prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2 that give us 4 haploid cells instead of the 2 diploid cells that are the products of both mitosis and meiosis 1. So PMAT is present in both. We kept this one nice and short and sweet for you guys today. That's the last one. Today, we compared meiosis and mitosis. Go ahead and complete that exit ticket. Check yourself. Our aim today was how do meiotic and mitotic cell division differ? And that is all I have for you today, guys. Have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow on Zoom. Bye, guys.